Robin, and this podcast is coming to you from Charleston. I mean, look at these beautiful old houses, some of them built in the 1700s, the 1800s. This is where my hubby and I spent a lot of New Year's. So how was your New Year? Speaking of which, how are you doing on your New Year's resolution? Well, in this podcast, we will talk about, don't feel so bad. Don't be so hard on yourself if you haven't kept up with the resolutions yet. I mean, even former Olympians have a hard time making the resolutions stick, right?
I'm supposed to call my family more often than I do.
Oh, wait, you said you were going to call your family more often and you didn't follow through on it?
No.
Also on this podcast, you're going to take a ride on the next president's car, but it's no ordinary car.
I like this. No campaign, no election, instant president. Great.
And then you're going to see firsthand our Glam Squad's pit stop to help us look human for you, at least. Okay, now you're going to see the magic brown spray. But first, jumping into the CNN newsroom right now. You don't always hear about what journalists are going through to try to get you a story. We have Nick Robertson and Carl Penhall in the Middle East covering the violence between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. And here's a look at what both of them are going through, trying to get that story to you.
Well, about 15 or 20 minutes ago, we heard that the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, have begun their ground incursion into Gaza. So right now, we're heading out of Ashkelon, heading down to meet the satellite truck, very close to one of the crossings into Gaza, Erez Junction, at a place called Joe's Cafe. Just to let you know, we're down at Joe's Cafe. We're set up with Channel 2's got their live spot. Very close, on the road just around the corner from there, which goes down to Erez. But what we should do, Fahad, I think, is put obviously they have to keep the road open here, so I'd say put our camera here.
It's about midday now, and 15 kilometers up the road, there's a war going on. And here I'm sitting with Sam, the Cairo office manager, in a tea shop in Sheikh Zayed. Why, you might ask? Well, the Egyptian police have thrown up a checkpoint about 3 kilometers away, and they're simply stopping all press, Egyptian and foreign press, from going any closer to the border. The reasons they're giving, they're saying it's dangerous, the Israelis are bombing on the other side, and they say it's for our own security. So they refused us permission, but now I've jumped in a local cab and we're trying to drive around the checkpoint along some of the back roads, but they do tell me if we're caught, then we could quite well be arrested. So I've made it past that checkpoint now. Had to leave Sam back in the last town. We didn't think we'd all make it together. I borrowed the taxi driver's headscarf. Not much of a disguise, but so far so good. So I finally made it here thanks to the driving skills of a cabbie who shall remain nameless. I only wish I'd asked him to find me a tunnel into Gaza now.
I watched that and thought how difficult it must be to tell a story that you cannot witness yourself and verify it on your own. Just amazing stuff from the two of them. I was just walking around the CNN newsroom and I came across, this is Steve, I came across his desk and he's got Captain McCain cereal and Obama O cereal. You never know some of the leftovers from the campaigns, right? Speaking of the president-elect, have I got a tidbit for you? We know what his car is going to look like. Jean Meserve's on this one. We haven't had her on the podcast before, so take it away, Jean.
Okay, Robin, this is a cool ride. I am sitting where Ronald Reagan sat when he was president of the United States.
Secret Service agents call the presidential limousine the Beast. And if spy photos are any indication, President Obama's new ride lives up to the name.
It's a rolling tank with windows.
Ken Lucci owns a limousine used by Presidents Ford and Carter, and another that carried President Reagan.
This is a 1975.
Though its doors and undercarriage are armored, it seems quaint next to the high-tech limousine President Obama will use.
I like this. No campaign, no election, instant president. Great.
Lucci notes the new limo's windows are smaller to make it less vulnerable. Some of the body appears to be built of a different material. He speculates it's a tougher composite. Lucci says rubber gaskets could protect against chemical weapons, and he guesses the holes in the door are for a mechanism to lock it like a bank vault.
That door probably weighs as much as a 757's aircraft door. And the inside of that cab is as sealed as a jet plane.
And that may surprise Obama, says Joe Funk, a former Secret Service agent who drove President Clinton's limo.
It's a cocoon, and the everyday noises will be gone, and he will be totally isolated in this protective envelope.
Robin, I know you turn heads wherever you go, but you should try taking a ride in this. It will have a multiplier effect. You will enjoy it.
Okay, back in the CNN newsroom. Steve, are you ever going to open these cereals?
I'm going to put them on eBay.
Really? I think that's smart, right? So you're not going to open the cereal.
We haven't decided, so I'm going to open it up for bid.
I wonder if it was really Captain Crunch. That's what I was asking. Anyway, thanks to Jean. I think she did well on our first podcast appearance. So we're here in the CNN makeup room. This steals your makeup, apparently. That's what they tell me. Where they metamorph us every day into something presentable on the air. Now, let me take you behind the scenes of our 2-minute commercial to the NASCAR pit crew. That's these two. And notice the work that they do within 2 minutes and what they took away from me. Okay, it's during the commercial break. We have Dee and we have Tara from the makeup department, and Bob's going to take this.
Yeah,
I feel that I need some hair help, and I brought the scissors out.
And
we're going to take those from you. Oh, no. I think that this piece right, don't you think this is like wayward? I'm big on cutting my hair in the commercial. Okay, yeah, this is the NASCAR speed crew right here. We got a minute. Honey, that's forever in makeup. Right? I know. Okay, now you're going to see the magic brown spray. Watch this. This is called Me and Miss Clairol. Woo, baby, look at that.
You're freaking out over there, William. It's all right, man.
Chaos, Bob.
It's all right. It's working.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, now we got to do news right there. How many seconds?
10 seconds now.
Thank you, Dee and Tara. Now, speaking of makeup, I thought Kathy Griffin looked really pretty on New Year's Eve on CNN with Anderson Cooper. And I got the biggest kick when I was watching and they said this. Okay, it's ego boosting, but it was sweet.
Have you ever ridden the Morning Express?
Robin Meade, I'm a huge fan of.
But why is the show called Morning Express?
I have not been on the Morning Express, but I love Robin Meade.
I would like to be on the caboose.
Have you ever met her?
No.
She's incredibly cool. She's been with us on New Year's Eve
Why
many
don't you marry
times.
her? I'm just so in love with her. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
All right.
Don Lemon never treats me this way.
Hey, it's a couple days, I know, past New Year's already. How are you doing on your resolution? Well, if it has anything to do with fitness, I have just the woman right here, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Jackie, for anyone who's trying to get fit or lose a little weight, I mean, you guys, she's a former Olympian, okay? What do you have to say? Give us a good booster.
A good booster is to take it one day at a time, be true to yourself, have fun, enjoy, don't overeat, but do things in moderation and, hey, stick to your resolution.
Good. What's our resolution? Do we have a resolution together? Jackie and I are celebrating New Year's Eve together.
Yes, it's to have fun and love ourselves.
Isn't that a beautiful sunset? So that's it for this podcast from Charleston. So I'll see you on the show tomorrow, okay? Bye.